and I help women emotionally regulate and consciously create their lives. And today we're talking about one of my favorite subjects, and that is the astrology that moves you out of survival mode. Okay. Now, if you were not born with this particular placement, you can still reap the benefits of this, not really transit, but placement. Okay. However, I made a video about this. It's called the Taurus North Node, if you're new to this concept. And I will put the first video in the description that I made describing the Taurus North Node and the dates of birth. So that way you can see if you do have this placement, but if you don't, I still would stay because this information is really important. And the reason why it would still apply to you, even if you weren't born with it, is because it's a collective placement. Meaning, for example, the North Node right now is in Pisces as of February 22nd, 2026. So the whole collective is experiencing North Node in Pisces, okay? And the North Node is the highest point. The North Node is, I'm a nurse, so I have to say it in this kind of terms. Well, I like to say it in this kind of term. But imagine getting a diagnosis. The medicine, the antidote for the diagnosis is the North Node, okay? So the Taurus North Node, when you have a Taurus North Node, what you're doing is, or any North Node really, what you're doing is embodying the traits of a particular zodiac sign. Doesn't mean that you have that particular zodiac sign. Imagine two cloaks, okay? One cloak is Taurus traits. The other is the South Node, which is what you have too much of, okay? The opposite of Taurus is Scorpio. They're sister signs, all right? They sit on separate polar axes of each other. So what you need to do, because you have a ton, imagine 5 layers of Scorpio traits, all right? Too much crisis energy, survival energy, scarcity, lack, too much passion, all right? Too much intensity. You could probably find yourself in toxic relationship consistently. No matter how much money you can make, you can maybe be dealing with energy leaks in your money. You could be caught up in even friendships, dynamics, paradigms, jobs, where in survival mode, where you're burning out, where you don't feel like you can ever catch up, okay? So that is South Node. Now, South Node is what you're comfortable with. You're comfortable in survival mode, even subconsciously, okay? The North Node, Taurus, the traits that you need to embody, the cloak, okay, that you need to put on. Embodiment means that you're feeling it in your body. You are uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable to move to that, okay? Taurus is comfortability, it's luxury, it's groundedness, all right? It's stability. Taurus North Node needs to build their own wealth and their own stability in this lifetime. And they need to rest more because they're used to constant survival, constant trauma, burnout, okay? Cycles of crisis. That's what I dealt with at times when I was a nurse, okay? So, but it's uncomfortable. And when something is uncomfortable, it just simply means you have to wire yourself. You have to rewire your nervous system and your brain. Your brain is not familiar with Taurus North Node traits of ease, of rest, of relaxation, of moving slow. Okay, people with this placement, or if you have dealt with these cycles before, tend to move too fast, right? And learning to move slow in this lifetime. All right, I want you to imagine, another way to imagine the North Node is, and especially in Taurus, but any North Node, imagine taking a cup, right? And you want to fill this cup up with coffee or tea, whatever delicious drink that you want, right? So you go to fill up your cup, right? First it's filled a quarter, then half, then full. But when it gets to full, you continue to pour the tea or the coffee and it overflows. Nothing wrong with tea and coffee, but it's overflowing. There's too much of it, right? It starts to ruin the counters, your clothes, or whatever is surrounding it. That is what the North Node and South Node is. The South Node, there's nothing wrong with Scorpio energy, the opposite of Taurus. There's nothing wrong with it, right? It's just that you have an overflowing, a flooding amount of it in your system. Too much survival, too much scarcity, too much lack, too much fast pace, too much burnout, too much proving through productivity. All right. Too many crisis situations, too much drama in relationships, way too much. But when you move towards Taurus North Node, what you end up doing is you start to balance them out where both cups are equal. All right, where you have a good amount of South Node energy and a good amount of North Node energy. All right. So I have a few notes here. I'm going to explain a few of the shadow traits of Taurus North Node. And shadows are not terrible by any means. They're just the parts of us that we have resisted, and the parts of us that we have shamed, right? And that we hide. And in order to bring those to light, right, we have to integrate them into our lives. We have to bring them to the surface so that we can deal with them. You're not supposed to sweep it under the rug. So first, moving from survival mode to safety, Taurus North Node. Again, if you find yourself only being able to receive money if you have to earn it, or even if it's not at a job, imagine you're in a partnership, a family relationship, and you feel like you have to sacrifice yourself for it. If you have to do someone's emotional labor, meaning you're listening to them vent and you're helping them with problems, that means that you're in survival. You feel like you can only survive, you're only safe if you're sacrificing yourself, okay? You're learning that ease is not laziness. Taurus North Node actually embodies rest and ease, knowing that rest, ease, and stillness is actually what moves the power of life, of creation, of universe. Think about planting seeds. By the way, Taurus is also seeds and grass and nature, okay? The ground. So gardening. Imagine you're gardening, you're planting seeds. You're not meant to keep tilling that ground that you just planted the seed in the soil. You're supposed to rest. Taurus North Node, it's uncomfortable to understand this, but you're supposed to allow rest and I'm not saying don't take action. You're planting the seed, that was the action. You're supposed to rest so the seed can grow. All right. Releasing identity built around struggle. There is this programming when it comes to Taurus North Node that says, struggle is the only way, again, to earn my existence. I have to struggle in order to exist. That is not the case here, okay? Taurus, while it's the slowest moving sign in the zodiac, it loves ease, okay? It really loves ease. It doesn't like struggle. You're supposed to be moving towards more ease. Again, it doesn't mean you're not going to be working in your purpose, but you're not supposed to be struggling. That goes against the cycles of creation, all right? Creation doesn't struggle to grow. The trees, the ground, like they don't struggle. They have their seasons, right? Where sometimes they're not growing, but they're not supposed to struggle. And allowing pleasure without guilt. Taurus North Node, so sensuality and pleasure, right, is Taurus. And pleasure it could be like tasting delicious food. You could have a problem eating fast and you're not absorbing the pleasure of the taste of the senses of your food. You're not smelling the perfume. You're moving too fast. You can't even understand or comprehend being able to just enjoy the sense, just enjoy the pleasures, okay, of sense of your senses. All right. And pleasure can be hard for you because you don't believe that you deserve it. Even subtly, remember the North Node, it's difficult to embody these because you're wired for something different. You're not wired to enjoy pleasure. So it can become uncomfortable for you when you should be, getting massages, and you should be eating really good foods, and you should be smelling good things, and you should be feeling good fabric on your skin. All right. It can be difficult for you, but that is important. Okay. Wealth and stability through patience. Taurus is money, it's resources, it's land. Okay. Taurus is stability, it's groundedness. All right. It can be difficult sometimes for people with this kind of placement, or that even if you don't have the placement, the energy. And that's because there is no grounding. It's like you don't slow down enough to create stability, to create a foundation of wealth and security. And that's, I have had cycles of that where I've made a ton of money, but didn't, I couldn't build a good foundation of stability. And there's nothing to be ashamed of. It's just that you don't know. Again, this is about this is about conditioning and wiring. Okay. You're not the brain doesn't like familiarity, or the brain likes familiarity, remember. So in this lifetime, to move out of survival mode, you have to learn how to slowly build wealth and financial security on your own. Okay. Learning to receive instead of control. This is a big one. You are so accustomed to, oh, I have to make sure that this person, if they give me something, I have to hurry up. I used to do this. Oh my God. I have to hurry up and do something for them. If someone gives you a compliment, oh, compliment them right back in a hurry. Because that's because you don't know how to receive. And when you don't know how to receive, life, creation, universe, what you're doing is signaling out that you don't deserve it. And when you send a signal out that you don't deserve it, nothing can come in. It's like your hands are clenched like this. All right. And then you unclench them and you go do something for someone else because you don't know how to receive what they've given you. All right. Learn how to receive pleasures. Learn how to receive anything. Okay. Time rewiring. Moving fast. This is one of the most difficult things. It's like I mentioned, Taurus is the slowest moving sign in the zodiac. So moving fast in everything you do, I have to remind myself of this constantly. Moving slow allows you to embody the experience of living, of aliveness, right? Some of us don't even realize we're constantly focusing on the next thing, how to move to the next thing. We don't even know how to embody and inhabit the present moment by moving slow, by being present, by saying, I'm going to breathe in my body. I'm going to feel my clothes. I'm going to be in this present moment. I'm not going to be on a screen while I'm eating. I'm going to be present with this food. I'm going to eat it slowly. I'm going to walk outside in nature. Taurus is nature. I'm going to walk outside. I'm going to enjoy the nature, right? Sometimes without music, because that is inhabiting the present moment. Okay. Now, the shadows to overcome. Addictions to intensity. When you have this placement, you could have the tendency to want to hurry up and start relationships. Really talk about like deep emotional subjects in relationships fast. Like if you meet someone, you want to tell them all of your trauma, all of it, and that's because you want that deep intensity, that crisis. Some of us will subconsciously start fights, start toxic drama, or be involved with it. It's because there's an addiction, an underlying addiction to suffering, to intensity, to crisis, to drama. All right. Taurus is not drama. It's literally opposite. It's just this grounded sense of safety. I don't have to start this relationship really fast. I don't need chemistry spikes. I don't need to fall in love with someone fast. Take your time. Belief that calm means bad things will happen. You know how you've heard people who, after years of being in a relationship or even in life in general, um, that was toxic or all the drama, and then they enter into a relationship or their life starts to become more normalized, and they will subtly sabotage it. They'll pick out the problems in the oh, what is it? Oh, I was like, what is that? They'll pick up the problems in the relationship, but um but when you don't believe that calm and peace and tranquility is normal, you can sabotage your life. And that's because Taurus North Node, it's like you're coming from this intensity and the drama and the passion to a place of peace and groundedness and tranquility. And so your nervous system is like, what the hell is happening here? We're used to drama, we're used to chaos, we're used to crisis. So you have to, what's the word? Immerse yourself and condition yourself, and put yourself in these situations that are more grounded, so that way your nervous system can start to rewire for, hey, this is actually safe. It's safe to be calm. It's okay. Like, we don't need the drama. Okay. So those are the shadows. Now, the practical ways you can align: prioritize rest. You are used to, again, if I sacrifice my body, if I prove that I know how to work hard, then I'll survive. Then I'll be safe. Okay? Learn how to prioritize rest. You, if this resonates with you, you most likely are someone, you try to rest and you find yourself doing something. Even if it's sitting down and scrolling. It's okay to scroll sometimes. Sometimes the scrolling, though, is a subtle sign that you are actually uncomfortable with rest. Okay? You're uncomfortable with just sitting outside with tea or coffee or whatever. You're uncomfortable with just simply taking a walk outside. Okay? So prioritize learning how to rest. Taurus is rest, it's ease. All right? Invest in physical environment upgrades. Taurus loves beauty. Taurus is beauty. Because it's governed by the planet Venus. Venus is beauty, love, money. Okay? You should have nice things. You should have nice things. And because you're building financial stability and financial wealth, right? Take it in stride. Buy a few things here and now, some nice there, some nice artwork, you know. Your house should smell good. You should be immersed in pleasure, all right? Your environment should feel like it's luxurious. Go to the dollar store, go to the thrift store, okay, and get some nice things around you. Because what you're doing is you're sending a signal out to life creation universe that you deserve nice things. And when you send that signal out, what's going to happen is you're going to be magnetic to even more. That's one of the biggest parts of this, is that what you're doing, you're rewiring your nervous system out of that survival mode. And therefore, you're a magnetic signal to good things. Imagine a radio signal. You're rewiring your signal for good things, okay? So, excuse me. So this is how you can use the Taurus North Node to move out of survival mode. And if you need further help with this, I actually have a soft wealth lifestyle community. And what this community is it's a community to help you wire your nervous system for luxury in community. Studies show that when you actually surround yourself with people who have like-minded goals, all right, you're more likely to embody those goals, and the goal is ease and rest and play. So we're learning how to do that over there. I'll put the link below. And thank you so much for watching. If you're watching this on the replay, comment below and let me know if you have any more questions. Bye.